Hello, I'm Matthew Malcolm with California Ag Network, reporting to you here today with Adam Borchard from the California Fresh Fruit Association. Wanted to talk about the drought. I know it's a really tough conversation to have. People are upset, especially our farmers that rely on water, to be able to grow all the amazing crops that we grow here in the Central Valley and throughout all of California. But this drought persists despite some of the small rain events we've experienced, which we're really grateful for, but we are praying for more. In the meantime, what's going on and what is the outlook for this year and how that's going to affect deliveries with all the curtailments and stuff going on? Are farmers going to be able to farm?
Yeah, so that's an excellent question, Matthew. Definitely water in any given year is an issue that's front and center for a lot of farmers, a lot of growers across the state. You can't grow food if you don't have water. And I will say water year 2022 is going to be very challenging. It will be a critically dry year across California. One thing that makes the current drought, and keep in mind, we're in the third year of our drought right now that started in 2020. So one thing that makes this year of our current drought so critical is that we are now seeing the impacts of the Sustainable Groundwater Management Act, also known as SGMA, come into real force with the approval and the review of this groundwater sustainability plans, the GSPs, by the state. And the GSPs currently are considered inadequate. So that provides for a 6-month review back at the local level to provide some more information to show how the different regions across the state can balance their local water table. So that's a little bit on the regulatory side of what makes this drought so unique. Hydrologically, it's also a significant drought this year, and unique because a lot of the storms, all the atmospheric river events that California had starting in October, they were largely centered south of the Sacramento-San Joaquin Delta. The Central California, Central Sierra snowpack did fare much better overall than in Northern California. So what is unique about this year in particular is we are going to see hundreds of thousands of acres of prime agricultural land in the Sacramento Valley go fallow. And this is a lot of rice land. We're talking land that's been in production since the 1800s with very senior water rights. There's just not enough water in the Sacramento and Feather River watersheds to sustain normal production this year. And the measures that were used in the previous droughts just aren't. There's just not enough water to replace the water that would normally be used. So you're going to see over 300,000 acres of farmland in the Sacramento Valley go fallow. The impacts downstream in the San Joaquin Valley, that means that there's likely going to be even less water available for trading and for export out of the Sacramento-San Joaquin Delta. So there will be ripple effects across the state. And then that's on the ag side. On the urban side, a lot of urban water users, such as the Metropolitan Water District, they get their water out of the Sacramento-San Joaquin Delta, so their deliveries will be impacted. And that's why just recently the Metropolitan Water District restricted outdoor residential usage in its service area, and that impacts over 6 million Californians. So impacts of the drought this year are substantial.
So if they haven't felt it already, they're going to be feeling it now.
That's right, yeah.
Yeah, so this really is a tragedy, and we understand that, if hundreds and thousands of acres get fallowed, which is very premature to what we expected with the onset of SGMA, we knew that down the road that was going to happen, that land would be fallowed. Not necessarily the land that's being fallowed as we speak, but that's going to just have drastic effects on our economy. Right. When are they going to get the point here that we need water and we need to store it?
It's storage, and it's also conveyance. So there's an effort by a lot of our local legislators and members of Congress to provide additional funding to provide the funding for repairs to our local water delivery systems, such as the Franklin Canal, the California Aqueduct, the San Luis Canal. It's one thing to have the storage, but you need to also move that water, and that's why we need to repair critical infrastructure.
Yeah, I noticed there is a lot of infrastructural repairs and stuff. We get a lot of announcements of the funding for infrastructural help. from federal and the state, but none of that's going to help us right now, is it?
Not in water year 2022, but hopefully that will help with the long-term sustainability of the valley, especially with the full implementation of SGMA over the next 2 decades.
Well, thank you so much for the update, Adam. I wish we had better news to share. Certainly do all we can, even if it's just praying at this point for rain. I'm Matthew Malcolm, CaliforniaAgNet.com.